Okay, so I actually don't really remember what they changed in this patch. I know that they're kind of killing Caitlyn. But let's have a look at the changes. Let's theorycraft a little bit. Talk about like what's changing for us ADC mains, what we gotta adapt, what we gotta get better at. Did you get the context? Oh, not really. Okay, so fist bumps update. Fist bumps are coming to Arena 40.11. That's what I needed. Solo duo ranked, Apex and Mardo restriction will be turned back on in 40.11. Okay. 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 Starting off with Caitlyn. Oh, they really changed how these patch notes look. Um. Oh yeah, I understood it was during the Netherland drama. So the Caitlyn, I think they're probably killing Caitlyn, but maybe I'm wrong. Because when I actually think about it, later on in the game, your trap damage kind of matters less. You know? Because later on in the game, it's less likely, I feel like, that you get to trap people. You still get to trap people on CC, but like it's more in the early game that you actually trap people, and in the early game the damage hasn't changed. But this attack speed buff doesn't look too big. But maybe there's a world now where you go like PD on Caitlyn. You know, you go like IE, LDR, PD, something like that. Sorry. Allergies. You know how it is. So what they're doing is they're buffing her attack speed growth from 5.68 to 5.94. Now, what does attack speed growth mean? If I remember this... Oh, wait. No, but this is the attack speed ratio. Wait, what? I think it's written wrong here. This is supposed to not say attack speed growth, but attack speed ratio. And what ratio means is that, like, let's say you buy 40% attack speed. You know how an item has 40% attack speed? It's 40% times this value. So that's why, like, buying attack speed on Caitlyn has always been kind of bad, because she's had a very low attack speed ratio. That means that when you buy attack speed, you're getting like a low amount based on what other champions would get for buying the same amount of attack speed. So now buying attack speed on her should be better, while just stacking AD should be worse. I think it's the right direction to put Caitlyn in, but I'll have to test Caitlyn out myself to see if she's just gutted or if she's still good. The ult damage nerf is also pretty big, 20% bonus AD ratio. Probably going to be doing around 100 less damage a game. Later on in the game, something like that. 100, 150 maybe. And then the W nerf is huge, right? Putting points into W now doesn't really do very much, as you do not get the scaling bonus AD growth from putting points into it. But yeah, I'll have to test her out. My initial thoughts is that she's kind of gutted, but we'll have to see it. Mill getting nerfed, losing moon speed on Q, I think kind of fair. She's really strong, and losing on hit damage on ult. And Corki, these are the Corki buffs that they put in the mid-season patch notes, or not mid-season, from last patch. I mean, Corki got hotfix buff. He had a really bad win rate. I think Corki's super OP. Super OP. The damage seems really crazy. And then the Draven buff, baby. Draven buff. Draven buff. So what they're doing is they're making adoration loss on death only 50% now instead of 75, and they're making bonus gold per kill, giving him 15 more gold per kill. I think that 2.5 per stack is nice. I think you can keep the 2.5 per stack. I kind of wish they made it like 10 plus 2.5 per stack, something like that. But I think this is fine. I think now the build on Draven will always be BT Rush. Victor got nerfed, and they're also even saying it here. As many Dravens aren't properly rushing Bloodthirster, we're updating his recommended items to help players build him correctly and giving him a little more juice that isn't directly about bursting down his lane opponents. Buy Bloodthirster, guys. Buy Bloodthirster. Gangplank getting some stat buff. I don't think this does much. I don't think he has a good build. And if you're a one-trick Gangplank, maybe you're a little bit happy, but you're probably still sad, so Okay. And then we got Gnar, who's also getting a bit buffed. Pretty small buffs all around. Don't think it changes much. Hwei getting a bit nerfed. I've been playing quite a bit of Hwei when I get filled. The champion I think is pretty damn strong. Makes sense that they're nerfing it. The damage with Blackfire Torch is really nice. Just overall feels like you can always one-shot people. And then Aurelia losing a little bit of health. Losing 9 health per level, actually. That's quite a bit. 90 health at level 10. Okay, so then the Jinx changes here. So, as far as I know, these changes are like a placebo effect. Because, okay, so let's look at this, right? If you play Jinx right now, and let's say you get to level 10, you get 3.15 times 10. You get 31 bonus AD, right? With these changes now, you would instead get 2.9 times 10. You get 29. That's 2.5 AD at level 10. 2.5 AD at level 10. I think that's like near placebo level. I refuse to believe that 2 AD at level 10, when you've already bought like 80 AD in terms of stats, that matters. I don't think it does. Like when do you have a fight where someone lives on like 5 HP? That was like very rarely. And it's 4 AD at level 18. I think that's really small. It shouldn't matter much. I guess the IE nerf does affect Jinx, but I think it affects every other champ just as much. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, and her win rate goes to 40%. That would be actually insane. They're nerfing Karthus a little bit. Another close to a placebo nerf, I think, but this one is a little bit less placebo because it's actually 6 damage on max rank. Which, 6 damage on a spell that you're using like boom, 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 boom. That's a little bit, that's a little bit. That does actually matter. Because Karthus Q is like an auto attack for other champions. So. And then Kha'Zix's Q damage up by 10. AD scaling not changed. That's whatever, I think. Then they're trying to do another. But then those 4.5 converted into items with the 80 ratios would make a decent difference. What? No? No, what? No item has 80 ratios. Not buying Triforce. Or what do you mean? We're making some adjustments to Cassandra. This is like the 5th time they've tried to rework Cassandra. I'm excited to see what they do this time. Let's read up. The tournament to be more aggressive champion and less about soaking up damage on the front line. We're giving him some lane agency and power in the 1v1 through all-out's lifesteal, but making him worse at absorbing the most damage of any tank. Our hope is to maintain him as a viable top laner for those who have mastered him without being the most durable tank, since he's already the most threatening one. Okay, I think that's fair. I think it's weird that he's the tankiest tank while also doing the most damage, while also having the most mobility. Those 3 things never really added up to make sense to me that he could have all of those 3. Because usually a champion has to pick between one of those 3. Also doing a pass on his recommended runes, as there are several unpopular options that appear to be much stronger than what players traditionally run. Okay. Q mana just goes to 20. Okay. W damage reduction goes to 30%. Maximum hold direction goes to 1 second. All health damage reduction goes to 60. And all health healing goes up by 5. Overall, looks like big nerfs. Looks like pretty big nerfs. His W, the power in Cassandra's W was just insane. But I think now he should be a lot weaker, because now 30% damage reduction, that's not crazy, but this was up to 65%, and 75% in his ult. It was just insane. It's an insane ability. Okay, and they're not buffing Lulu ult here. Knockup duration up by 0.25 and ult cooldown down by 20 at first rank, 10 second rank. I don't think Lulu typically gets level 16, so it's a pretty good buff. Pretty good buff. Knockup duration can definitely help 2v2s. You're able to get the knockup. I'm gonna blow my nose 1 sec. Mastery was over-nerfed back in 14.9 and then lost a bit more with Lethal Temple's removal. For a long time, ES had suppressed base stat growth as a way to make him weaker in lower level play. We'd like to undo some of that suppression, so we're adding a solid amount of power that will specifically be felt by more relatively inexperienced players. 5 health growth, 0.5 armor, 0.3 AD. Oh my god, this is a lot. This is a lot. This is like half an armor per level, 5 HP per level, 0.3 AD per level, and 5% attack speed per level. That is a big buff. That's a big buff. Very big buff. Mordekaiser getting nerfed. It's one of the strongest performers in top lane, especially in lower MMRs. We're taking down some lower MMRs good parts for his kids, his isolated Q and E. Also returning a little bit of power to his passive in the jungle with the goal of hitting that role a bit less than we're hitting top lane. But when did Riot Games start to care so much about the like random roles that nobody plays? Like these days, they're like, okay, we're gonna nerf Cassandra, but we're gonna give him a buff for Cassandra jungle for the 5 people that are playing that. Don't want to make them sad. It's like, huh? Mordekaiser, no. I don't think that has a real player base, Beast. I mean, whatever. I'm not reading this. Nami buffs, pretty big. Nami buffs here. 3 AD, which makes her trades quite a bit better. And less mana cost on W. 20 less mana cost on the W max rank. And this is a spell you max first. And 70% slow on ult, which means that it's really easy now to, if you hit the ult, to chain CC other things into it. Overall, pretty big buff to Nami. Honestly, pretty big buff to Nami. I think she's pretty good with Corki. She's pretty good with Lucian, of course. She can be fun with Draven if you have a free lane. Other than that, she's kind of useless. But Nasus, attack damage growth increased, E mana cost reduced, and armor reduction increased. Attack damage growth up by 0.5, E mana cost down by a lot, actually. Oh, wow. I don't know if this has its intended effect, because I have a theory now that a lot of people will just play Emax Nasus. Like 30 mana at max rank is huge. I'm not sure if that's what Riot wants. And 50% armor reduction. Isn't that insane? Yeah, we'll see. Like, the fact that now 30 less mana per cast, I think that's really crazy. And 5% more armor reduction. I think this looks really good for him. Just because I think the biggest weakness of Nasus Emax was just you ran so easily, even if you build mana. Now, like, this is so much cheaper. Now Ornn can upgrade all minus a few exceptions like Meta, Soul Stealer, Iron Staff, and similar items. Legendary items to Masterwork items. Masterwork items gain extra stats based on the stats the original legendary item provides. If an item gives 80 in HP, the upgrade will give you more 80 in HP. Makes sense. I think this is a good change to Ornn. It was pretty clunky when like you had an Ornn and then someone just didn't buy the items that he could upgrade. Because like, for example, I remember Zeri, she had like her build just didn't have an item that Ornn could upgrade. Because it was like you could upgrade Kraken, but you couldn't upgrade Navori. And you couldn't upgrade Statikk Shiv. It's just like, what the fuck? It's really weird, right? And I think some champions have like some builds that.
Hi there. How are you doing?
This is like clunky, right? Thank you very much, upset, but happy for the 18 months. Okay, Pantheon. Huge changes to Pantheon here. Let's see. Pantheon's been sad in top lane for a while now. For this patch, we're looking to let Pantheon scale better off of Brutus items and scale better against other fighters and tanks. Oh, they're gonna make him OP, aren't they? They're gonna make him fucking OP. While we're at it, we're improving Aegis Assault when empowered by Mortal Will, as rich decision-making around Mortal Will is an intended part of his mastery, and Aegis Assault hasn't been holding up its end of the bargain. Aegis Assault is E, right? Yeah. We're also shifting a few AP ratios around while we're at it to hopefully avoid nerfing his AP build. We don't expect AP Pantheon to be particularly viable in Summoner's Rift, but it inspires some ARAM or Arena builds. Have fun. Oh, maybe I have to do that on Arena. Sounds fucking fun. The charged Q now has a 50% AP ratio. That's what I'm talking about right there. Okay, the W shield went from doing just physical damage to now max HP, plus 1% per 250 bonus HP. Minimum damage against monsters and minions, 50. Max damage against monsters and minions, 200. The new addition of damage against monsters and minions won't be reflected in total 411, will be added in 14.12. Aegis Assault now grants 5 to 30 depending on level. Armor and magic resist. Wait, it scales with bonus HP for 4 seconds after spell finishes. Bro, these are insane buffs, no? Or am I missing something? This is a crazy buff. Surely tank Pantheon or bruiser Pantheon should be fucking good now. Like, you get a lot of MR and armor that actually scales with bonus HP. But do you only get this if it's like the empowered E, or do you get this on the normal E? It says when empowered by Mortal Will, but here it doesn't say when empowered by Mortal Will. But I mean, Riot patch notes aren't always best. Like, while we're at it, we're improving Aegis Assault when empowered by Mortal Will, which is Pantheon's passive, right? But here it just says always. Greek said only empowered. I mean, it would make sense if only empowered, but it doesn't. Oh, we'll see, I guess. We'll see on live. I mean, I could test it in practice tool as well. Oh, maybe I just test it in practice tool. Yeah, let's just go into practice tool and test it. If it's on every E, that sounds insane. It has to be only empowered, no? Then you just tap E once, and you get fucking 20 armor and MR. Samira, there were adjustments we made in mid-patch for 14.10. Oh yeah, they nerfed her, hotfix nerfed her. She had really high win rate. Let's see here.
My name is Soldier.
Oh yeah, it does say Mortal Will boldness.
They will know war.
Yeah. That's crazy, no? At level 7? It's 15 armor and MR. Let's see if I like buy like bruiser items. I don't know, just like random fucking shit. Where's my doors?
30 seconds until minions.
Get a black cleaver as well? I don't fucking know. Some fucking HP that are like bruiser items. 40. Holy shit, bro. 40 is crazy. 4 seconds? I mean, that's huge. Huge. Yeah, I want to test one more thing.
Lives in the shadow.
Pest has spawned.
The art of war is hearing the heart beating.
Oh, it still does physical damage. Wait, this is 18%. Wait, this is dog shit, bro. Where's my damage? Oh, there's the damage, huh? If I do this though.
Because we fall.
Now we're talking, huh?
Destination.
This will be the Pantheon build that Spear Shot will run. Whoa. And then the ulti? Holy shit. Fucking useless. Okay. Okay. Singed. Let's see here. Singed getting buffed. Singed is massively lost out. Lost out in this last patch to put him back into reasonable spot where partly inverting no longer nerfs his Q damage. Okay. And ult buff. 20 less cooldown. Ooh, Smolder buffs. I gotta try Smolder. I for sure gotta try Smolder. Okay, so Smolder got buffed in the 14.10 micro patch. And they're buffing him again now. We're looking to give Smolder some more juice after the micro patch, allowing him to feel good about high 80 crit builds. Hoping that he primarily cares about his spells, but also likes auto-attack enough to put himself into auto-attack range more than once every 3 seconds. We're also bringing down his Q cost. It's meant to be usable on cooldown like Nasus, and he no longer has great mana itemization like the old Essence Reaver. So, the passive Super Scorcher Breath now has 40 to 70% based on critical strike chance damage increase. Oh, wait, what? What does this mean even? Wait, he has 2 crit strike ratios? Am I fucking dumb? What? Yeah, he has crit strike scaling here and crit strike scaling here? I gotta look at the Smolder wiki to make sense of this. Super Scorcher deals bonus magic damage equal to 40 to 70% based on critical strike. Ah, okay. So this is like the magic damage part of it. And this is the physical damage part of it. And then also the mana cost now just goes to 25 instead of going up to 35. So maybe he doesn't need mana items now. But I guess you probably go to Essence Reaver, right? Essence Reaver got buffed now on this patch as well. Talia nerf. Holy shit, so deserved. This champion is so OP. So OP champ. But it's kind of like placebo nerf, or no? It's 4 damage and then 2 damage. His Q still can't crit? No, but it can practically crit. You know? Like, it's... If this was up to 25% more, it would be as if he crits, you know? It would be as if he crits. Trinity Force into crit on Smolder, that could be something, yeah. Oh yeah, Blackfire Torch got nerfed as well, that's true. Actually, Blackfire Torch got kinda... Oh no, but no, it doesn't get nerfed. It's just the hotfix nerf. No, Blackfire Torch isn't getting nerfed. Okay, and then Essence Reaver is now 100 less gold. So now it's 3,100 gold. For 70 AD. It's really fucking good. Gold efficiency wise. Why do you recommend only green blue in rotation on your fell guide? What about the standard one? Green blue is 10 times better than green purple. And red purple is like fine, but really situational. While green blue is like the best combo in the game. Alongside green white. This was a change from in the mid patch for the 10, okay. And then the shield bow buff is huge. Shield bow buff is huge. So it went from, so this is bugged. It didn't start scaling at level 1. It started scaling at level 11, but they forgot to put the 1 here. So it went from starting to scale at level 11 to starting to scale at level 9. So now the shield strength scales faster, and the total shield amount is way higher. So I think this now is actually a viable 3rd, 4th item. You would never buy it earlier than that. And you would still only buy it situationally if you really need survivability. But it should be an item now that is actually a meaningful purchase, rather than feeling like an item that just is too mid to ever buy. And it's like now that it makes sense to sometimes buy this item instead of GA, I believe. But the stats still bad? Yeah, but you can't have both. You can't have a defensive item with good stats, because then you just buy that every game. You know? Like, you don't buy GA for the stats. It's the same with Shield Bow. You can't buy it for the stats. It would just be broken then. Infinity Edge is currently too strong, and the potential burst available to ADCs of 1 lucky crit is a little too high, so we're bringing down their top end. Fair. I think fair. Our crits were doing too much damage. It's true. We were doing a bit too much damage. I sent my editor yesterday, let me find, wait. Let me find her fast. I sent my editor from Caitlyn game yesterday. Look at this, He's here. Look at this. Kindred, nearly full HP. She like heals off the camp here. Let's see if I click on her again. She's 1.4k HP. You guys think this auto attack should kill? I have 380 items, and I'm buying an attack speed item last. I think it probably shouldn't kill. It's a bit much if it kills, no? Oh, that shit kills. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. It's a lot of fucking damage. But technically, you can still do that with Caitlyn. Like, the headshot didn't get nerfed, only the headshot on the traps. So. Okay. And then Knight's Vow got nerfed. Statikk Shiv, another huge change here. Statikk Shiv landed way weaker than we intended in this update. We're aware that it feels somewhat narrow as a non-on-hit item, competing in the same space as those other ones. For now, we're moving the item towards being a lot more stat efficient and adding movement speed to it so it can better stand out from other non-crit items. So now it is Scout Slingshot plus Rectrix plus 700 gold, and is 2,800 gold, 7% movement speed, 55 AD, 45 attack speed, 45% attack speed, and 120 electric spark shock damage. I believe that this and Essence River will be the most gold efficient items in the game. I'm pretty sure. Let's see if the wiki has updated it. The wiki has updated it. 130%. Actually, I guess it's not as high as I was expecting. But 7% movement speed, it's only 300 gold. Essence River, let's see. I think Essence River is more, actually. Essence River is 150, but I think the ability haste is overvalued here. I think the ability haste is overvalued a bit. I think it's more like 140 maybe. In real terms. But I mean, Essence River, if Essence River doesn't get bought now, it's kind of crazy. But the thing is, it doesn't really have a passive. For most champs, this passive is kind of useless compared to the old Essence River passive. LDR is still higher. I don't think LDR is higher, but I don't know how they do. Like, how do you even do math on armor penetration? Actually, LDR is crazy high as well. How did they even do this math? It's based on Last Whisper or what? I mean, LDR is a crazy good item. LDR is a crazy good item. Look, PD. And PD is the same as, like, I guess kind of same as Aston River in that it doesn't have a passive. Like, this is kind of nothing, right? It's just all stats. So yeah. This should be a good item, I think, on Zeri, on Vayne. What else? I don't know if other champions will buy it. TF, maybe, yeah. Lucian, I think not. Maybe Lucian, but... Sivir, I think not. Kai'Sa, AP Kai'Sa, I think. Jinx, no, for sure not Jinx. I think like on-hit Kai'Sa, yeah. Dirk, maximum traded Dirks in inventory 6-1. Yeah, you can't stack Dirk anymore. Exchange. Makes sense. Zeal. Yeah, this was nerfed in 14.10 hotfix. What are your thoughts on Jinx now? Still strong. Still strong. Still strong. The nerf was placebo. It's 280 level 10, 480 level 18. It's like barely anything. They're buffing Cutdown. Makes sense. I think Cutdown should probably be the go-to rune now, rather than Coup. I'll have to test it out though. But now it's deal 8% increased max damage to champions above 50% maximum health from 60%. So now it's just like you're doing 8% more damage to champions that are above 50 rather than 60. So you're getting the threshold more often. And also, they're buffing Absorb Life. I think this rune, currently I was only running it on Aphelios, but maybe on champions that go Essence River Rush. This could be a good buff for Essence River. Because, why do you not want to go Essence River? You don't want to go Essence River because you can just go Presence of Mind, right? But if the other trees in the same rune, on the same like, and the other runes in the same tree, are competitive with Presence of Mind, then it actually makes Essence River more of a compelling choice, because then you get access to Absorb Life instead of Presence of Mind, for example. We'll have to test it, but maybe on like something like Sivir, where you're going Essence River, or Zaya, you go this to get more sustain. Something like that. Maybe Smolder as well. ARAM balance changes, the real balance changes here. But where's the collector nerf? Did they not do the collector nerf? I don't see it here. Or did I miss it? They said they were doing it. What? It's not here. But it's here. But it's not here. Well, they forgot to put it in. Yeah, we can go into practice on tests. Probably it's still here. Usually they fuck up with the patch notes. Ask the link, please. You seriously need a link for League of Legends patch notes? It's faster to ask me for the link rather than doing... Really? There's no way that's not faster. Best ADCs after patch? Brother, I haven't played a single game yet. If I told you, that'd be clickbait. I gotta play some games on the patch first. Ike, are you glad you made ADC? I mean, I love ADC. But my league seems to have crashed while trying to go into practice tool. That's not good. I closed the program? I guess I do. You don't need to report it to Microsoft. Okay. So how much collector lethality was before? It was 15, no? And now it's 12. Right? Yeah, so it's nerfed. It's nerfed. 3 lethality. It's a decent nerf. I think, okay, which champions will still buy collector? I think Jhin can still buy collector. I think on Aphelios against Squishies, it's still good.
Summoner's Rift.
On Caitlyn against Squishies, should still be good. I think Draven shouldn't buy it to go BT rush. I think Samira maybe shouldn't buy it. Should maybe just go into IE now, into like LDR into shield bow, something like that. Maybe Samira still buys it. If they're squishy, probably still